What's up YouTube, this is Gadget Pilot. Welcome to this video. In this video I will be doing some Q&A with you guys. I have some comments down, so I picked a few comments and I'm here to just discuss. So this is just to get to sort some of your questions out if I can and see how it goes. So guys, basically first question for today's video is by Mohid Gupta, if I'm saying it right. His some questions: how do you calculate how much altitude to fly upon, and what calculations for starting time of descent, vertical speed and aircraft speed? Right guys, this is a very common question. I have answered these questions a few times, and also I have a few tutorials on my channel that I answer this question. I'm just going to say this again. Right, there is different descent calculators, so you can go to Google, for example, and just write onto the search descent calculation, and you can, there's a few that will open up and you can use those. You can even set your cruise altitude, your cruise speed, and whatsoever, your desired altitude, and it will calculate everything for you. This is one. Second guys, you can go through flight plan to infinite flight, which is I'll share a link down below this video. That will in this website you can go ahead and make your own flight. You can set a flight plan as well. It will give you altitudes, speeds and whatsoever, and on each waypoint you will get like different altitudes which you can go ahead and descend once you reach that waypoint. So this is another thing. The third thing that I use the most guys is due to, if there is no ATC around or whatsoever, I have this by I just go ahead and start my descent, for example 37,000 feet, about 170 nautical miles, so 170 nautical miles out of the runway. I descend from, let's say I'm cruising at a March speed of, let's say 0.85. I'll get it down to 0.66 my speed, descend with about 1,500 feet per minute descent rate, and that's it. And from there, from 37,000 feet I'm gonna go down to 10,000 feet, and from 10,000 feet, according to let's say I'm about 50 to 45 nautical miles away from the runway, then I can start descending again slowly for a vertical speed about 1,000 until I reach, let's say 3,000 feet. So like again guys, just try those ways and I'm sure you get through that. So I hope that helped you out, Mohit, and yeah. So guys, another question by First Officer Jeden. Okay, Jeden, he's asking me, is it possible to put flaps 1 for takeoff? Yes, it is. You will need flaps for takeoff. For example, on Airbus I use flaps 1, on Boeings, depending if it's a heavy, I will use flaps 15. If it's light aircraft, I'll use, depending on the weight again, flaps 5 for takeoff. And yes, flaps are used to help to get lift, more lift with less speed. So once you take off and you start let's say climbing from there to about let's say 3,000 feet, I'll just put my flaps up and increase my speed and all whatsoever, and just start up climbing to my desired altitude. So basically this is it. And another question by again by First Officer is, why should we put flaps 0 when in the air? because like I said, flaps are only used for landings and takeoffs. The purpose of the flaps are to generate more lift at slower airspeed. So when you're cruising, you won't need that. You would just need to get your you don't need to reduce speed. You don't need to get your flaps down when you're cruising, for example, because there's a lot of high speed there and you can't use your flaps, and there's no need to use your flaps. So don't use flaps when you're flying. Just use flaps on takeoffs and just use flaps when you start your landing. So Pilot Sam, please may I get a shout out? Pilot Sam, hello mate, how are you? Are you okay? Good stuff. Thanks for your comments, guys. Tempest 001, if I'm saying it right, it would be nice for them to add the CS100 and the A320. A320, I would love to see that aircraft. Okay guys, first of all, it's always nice to see new aircrafts coming into infinite flight, especially when we already done what we've done with all the rest of the aircrafts. But still, I mean, it's always nice to see new stuff coming out into infinite flight. But for me at this point, my major concern is setting up, fixing more important stuff into their simulator, for example, like taxi lights, like landing lights, and like I would like to see buildings and stuff like that. I would love to see city lights. So there's much more things to be added before adding new aircrafts. I guess I just wish the developers would sit back and start fixing stuff for the whole package of infinite flight, and then adding something new, for example like aircrafts, which we see every now and then. So right guys, I'm getting like a few comments about the way I make my videos and the way what I use for video editing and whatsoever. Right guys, there is a few applications out there. Look, it's like I didn't know how to make videos. I didn't know how to edit videos. So what I did, I just went on YouTube again and just wrote down how to add videos and whatsoever. Then you get a few more links and videos that you go ahead and see how you make. So I suggest you go there and do that the same way I did, because sitting down now and explaining something that is not my job, I won't be good at it, mate. So just go ahead on YouTube and just add how to make videos, and it will definitely help you guys out. So yeah. So another question by Sasuke Senpai. One question: when you don't buy Pro, which airlines can you fly for free? Please, somebody please tell me 2020. Right, buddy, to be honest, I have no idea what aircraft you can fly without Pro package. I can't really remember that, because it's something that's been long ago and I've been on Pro for a long time. So trust me, I have no idea. If someone does know, guys, please put it in the comment box below, so people that don't know can just go ahead and read the comments and find out. I will really appreciate that. Sorry about that, buddy, but I have no idea on that. So I don't want to say, you know, it definitely is the A380. Okay, I know the A380 is free, if I remember correctly, but I can't remember any other aircrafts for free, so I can't really tell you. I don't want to say something that is not accurate. Okay, another question by Midnight Aviation, and he's asking, hey, does in-flight assistant also give boarding music and etc.? How and how much is the entire app which with the shaky cam V1 and VR? But I think totally for this whole app, to get the whole thing, I think it was about 15 euros I gave. I'm not quite sure, because I also bought that a few months, a year ago or so. So I have no idea about that, but you only get like a safety announcement. You don't really get like flight cabin music and whatsoever like you will get with Infinite Passengers. But if you're wondering, my personal opinion, if you can afford it, is get both apps and use both apps just like the way I do. And for V1 and V2, I only use In-Flight Assistant, as it calculates by itself and gives me according to my weight, the exact V1 and V2 VR. So yeah, but I also use two because there's some things that In-Flight Assistant doesn't have, which Infinite Passengers does, and whatsoever the opposite, the other way around, sorry. All right, another question here by ERI.M Aviation. Bro, please help me. How can I make like your logo video? Right, bro. Basically, to make my logo video like the way I did it, I found on the browser and I bought my video. So I didn't actually make my video, someone made it for me and I paid that person to do so. So basically you can go ahead and again go onto Google and write logo creations and intro videos makers and whatsoever, and you'll get a few that do this job for you. So you're gonna need to pay in order, or you can just go ahead and make one yourself. If I can go ahead and make my own intro, but I just didn't. I just prefer to buy it ready, just put it in, and that's it. So another question by Sasuke. What does vertical speed mean? Vertical speed is VS is vertical speed, so it's the descent rate and the climb rate of on your autopilot. For example, on like, let's say we're talking about Infinite Flight right now. So if you're gonna see the VS button on the right of the screen, which that's where I have my VS, and that's where you're gonna go ahead and when you start setting on your autopilot, then the VS, if you're climbing, will pick the climb rate that you are on bank. Let's say as you're climbing out from the airport, you can go ahead and swipe down or up to get your VS according to the climb rate you want to reach or the descent rate you want to reach when you descending. That's the VS. So it's the rate of climb or the rate of descent in our aviation words. So this is it. That's the VS buddy. So guys, these are the few questions that I picked up for this video. I don't want to make this video too long and start answering more questions. Keep on commenting below and you might have a chance to get your questions out on video. And yeah, so this is it for this video, guys. If you did like this video, please hit the like button. Stay home and be safe from these viruses, and I'll see you again on the next Gadget Pilot video. Take care, guys. Peace. Bye bye.